In the Starfield Outpost building guide, I'm going to show you how to get started with making your own outpost on a planet that you like without coming across any hiccups. So make sure that it's as smooth as possible so you're not having to go back and forth when you forget different materials. Now, before we start actually building an outpost and explaining how it all works, which I will do, I think it's best you go to 2 different vendors and buy all of these materials as much as you possibly can. Get at least a little bit of everything here. It's going to save you a lot of time later. You can get this stuff from the UC distributors on Jemison, but I think it's actually quicker to go to Neon in the Volley system, because once you've got there, you can fast travel there in the future and you'll be right next to the vendor that sells all the good stuff. So you've been on a shopping spree. Now it's time to get crafting. It's time to build your first outpost. Now I would suggest going to the Narion system and choosing this planet here. We are going to create 2 resource nodes, okay? These are going to be 2 different resource outposts which are going to send the resources to our home, wherever we want to be, because the resource planets with bunches of resources kind of look pretty barren and boring. We don't necessarily want our home there. So what we're going to do first is find a couple spots. There's an iron deposit here, which is great, and a helium and aluminium deposit in one right here. So if we go here, we can start our very first resource outpost. So now that we've landed down, we can open up our scanner and press R to put down the outpost. Now you can see what resources are in the area here available. So if you kind of move it around, you can see in the top left we have aluminium and helium here, but if we place it about here, we can actually get 3 different resources. So that sounds good for us. May as well. Now we can go like this. We can see where these resources are. So aluminium, we have an aluminium deposit right here. Now the extractors that appear on the right will only be there if the particular outpost has those resources in its vicinity. So if you try to build something and you see there is no resources there or no extractors, it's because you've picked a pretty bad place. So there we go. We've got helium and aluminium here. That is great. Now what we're going to want to do is create a where is it here? We want to create straight up a transfer container. This is going to help us to transfer the goodies. So what we now want to do is get some power so we can actually power this thing up. And now we want to go into modify mode, and we want to create an output link on the helium and put it into this box. And then also we want to put an output on the aluminium here and also lead it straight into the box as well. So now aluminium and helium is coming into this box. Now we need to prepare ourselves for later, because we want to send all of these resources to our home planet. This is where the cargo link intersystem comes into play. Now this can get a little bit confusing, so bear with me. This one requires 5 helium for the operating costs, so that needs to just keep it running. And there's a lot of interesting things that happen, but essentially this will allow you to send your resources to a different planet anywhere in the universe. So now what we want to do is go back to modify mode, and we are going to create an output link from the storage box here. So now we got all of the resources going into the storage box, and then we're going to put them into here. And this little box here sucks up all the helium. So that's great. Output link into there. And now we need to go back here and create another output link and attach it to this box and attach it. So now the resources of helium is going into here and into here to power it up. And the resources of the aluminium is going into here, and it'll be ready to be sent to wherever we have another one of these ready to receive it. Now the next thing is we may run out of power. As you see in the bottom, we need 10 power and we only have 6 power from this single solar array. So we're going to need to build another one. So let's just put another one down now, and now we have enough power to manage our system. Now, I'm going to do one more thing, and I'll explain why in a second, but just bear with me for now. Whilst we do have a normal cargo link for intersystem travel, we're going to need a local cargo link. Now, this one does not require the helium to power it. Now, this is quite interesting. So we're going to put that down, and I'll explain exactly what's going to be happening with this one in a minute. For now though, I just want to explain how these work. What they'll do is the green box here will have incoming cargo. This is the cargo that's going to come from a different planet or outpost. It will come into the green box, and we can send this green box elsewhere. Right now, I want you to send this green box to this red box. So in a minute, we're going to create another outpost and send all of the iron from there to here, which will then be sent to here, which we can then send to our home planet, wherever we want to set up home. But now this red box doesn't really need to be doing anything, so we don't need to worry about that for now. Now, before we make another outpost, one thing I'd really advise you to do is to go to your outpost claim here and rename it so you don't get confused. This one is helium plus aluminium, right? If you forget, it's going to get really confusing. There's so many icons on the map, as you can see. So now we want to go find anywhere that has a nice little iron deposit. I already started one here. So I've got my outpost here. As we can see with the scanner, there is a bunch of iron deposits in the area. So we are going to go into build mode here, and we're going to put an iron extractor down. Now this is going to be pretty much the same process as before. We have a couple little differences. Firstly, we're going to need to go to storage again, put down a transfer container, get down a solar array, and then we're going to need the other cargo link. Now this time, because we don't have helium in the area, we cannot automatically power this thing up. So this is why we have a cargo link here. And what's going to happen is we go to the modify tab now and we connect this to here. We have the iron coming into the storage. And then what we're going to do is put that onto the red box here, and we can now go to this outpost up here and manually choose to send all of this material to our other outpost on this planet. So what's going to happen is we're going to have all of this iron coming into this box, which will then be sent to our other outpost here. And then once it arrives there, it's going to automatically be sent to our other outposts on our home planet, wherever we decide that to be. So we have outgoing resources, iron. We want to send it to the helium plus aluminium thing here. Confirmation, yes. So as you can see, this iron is now going to be sent to my other outpost. Now, once again, before we go moving on, let's just quickly rename this thing here iron, so we don't get confused. Iron, there we go. So as a quick rundown, let's just quickly show this build menu again so you don't get confused, alright? We now have this iron deposit here. Iron is coming into this storage container. It is going into this local cargo link on the red box, and this spaceship is now going to send it to this outpost here. Let's go there right now just to show what it looks like. So it's now coming in from this box. You can see incoming resources, iron in the top left. That is now going into that red box. So what we've got going on here now is we actually have aluminium and iron going into here, which is now ready to be transported anywhere we want in the entire game. We just got to go find a place to call home. Now this looks like a spot. You can choose wherever you want to start your journey. You can build a home wherever you want to, and it really just depends on whether you want to get more resources or whether you want somewhere more beautiful like this. I found this beautiful spot actually on Jemison, so it's right there if, you know, I need to go buy anything or whatever. Now, this is the place where you really want to call home, where you're going to decorate it and make it look really cool, right? But now what we need to do is get the resources coming in. So I have already put down a interplanetary cargo system here. As you can see, it is right here. So we want to go down there, and like we talked about earlier, we want to get the resources of this one coming in from our outpost with all of the helium and aluminium and iron. So if we go to this control console, we can link it to this system here. Yes. So now we're going to have aluminium, helium, and iron coming straight here. Anyway, and here it is, our first shipment of cargo from our other planet. Okay, so our first ship's come in, which is great, but there's a bit of a problem. We don't have enough helium to power this thing up for the very first time. So we're going to need to manually put helium into this thing for the first time so that it's ready to run in the future. So what we're going to do now is make sure that it's all automated. And we'll be able to do that by, once again, opening up the build menu. And we're going to start by choosing a transfer container. Now, I'll just put it down here out of the way. Now, we want to go to the modify mode. Now, pay close attention to this. This is really, really important. So, this is the outgoing system, right? This is not so important. This is the incoming system. This is not important right now. This is the helium thing. So, what we actually want to do first is create an output link and connect it to this part here, and then you'll see it kind of like connects to the stairs. This means it's connecting to the helium here, okay? And now this is really weird, but we need to create an output link of this incoming cargo and put it on here. Now we have a system in place. This is wonderful. Everything will be working. All of the helium will be coming into here, being sent into here, and powering this up. Now you may hit a bottleneck here. Yes, I know this is complicated, but we may run out of helium, and that may stop things from running automatically. So what I would really suggest you to do is to go one time back to your helium outpost. So bear with me. Everything is now running. It's all connected. We just got to make sure the fuel is coming in and giving us enough helium to keep things automated. So what we're going to do is go to our helium. See, we named it here, which makes things so much easier for quickly finding again. So we're going to go land here again, and I'm hoping we can put down another helium extractor here, because this is going to help us massively and make sure that we're getting enough resources sent to all of the cargo links. So let's go into the crafter here again. There is one more helium. It says 1 out of 2. This is really, really great. So if we go like this, we can actually find a spot for it. Should be here. Now, I need a bit more nickel, so I know exactly where to go. Yes, Sieg Hearts, we're back. We're going to buy as many more resources as we can. Pick up everything else that's been left on the floor, because it is still here. There should be some nickel here somewhere. Is that the nickel? Oh, there's tons. There it is. I knew I left it here somewhere. Now, I don't want to spend much time here on this barren planet, right? So we're going to not only create another helium extractor, but we're going to create as many extractors as we possibly can here to just send as many resources as we can to our home. And as we start to play more, we can create even more resources and send it back to our home planet, which is pretty cool. So let's get another helium. There should be one somewhere. And we're going to need more power as well. Let's get another solar array down. Let's connect everything up. We can also do the same with our other iron place. Just get another one of those things down. Connect that up with the box. Need some more power here as well. There we go. Now what we can do is go to our home. And there we have it. We have tons of iron and aluminium. And now we can go to different planets if we want to and set up more outposts and follow those first 2 resource outposts, the same blueprints, to send more resources back here so that we can get everything we need to keep building our base. Now we can have fun with creating our outposts, creating the interior decorations, and everything else we want. If you want to see a second guide on how to make money with your outpost, then subscribe, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!